Keystone Engineering and Manufacturing is proud to introduce our latest innovation in carbide cutting technology, the Keystone keysaw attachment. The keysaw is a simple attachment, especially designed for your skid steer. With this attachment, the operator is able to cut concrete or asphalt in narrow widths and up to 12 inches deep. The keysaw is a completely enclosed unit, which eliminates flying aggregate and keeps dust to an absolute minimum. The housing sets directly on the cutting surface, eliminating vibration. This enclosed housing is stable enough to reduce spalling that normally occurs on each side of the cut. The keysaw is hydraulically driven with two hydraulic cylinders that push the saw into the cut, and the keysaw has been designed to use industry-standard tungsten carbide cutting bits. And notice that the keysaw is sliding on hardened machine tracks to increase the cutting stability. Only top-quality gearbox and hydraulic motors are used, ensuring consistent reliability on the job site. Now that we've been properly introduced, let's put the keysaw to work and see what it can do. It takes just 4 steps. First, we lower the box to the point at which it rests on the surface. Second, we turn on the hydraulic motor. Third, we extend the cylinder to push the saw into the cut. And fourth, we take off cutting. The housing slides along the surface as it is being cut. The wear pads, along with all other wear parts, are easily replaceable. When the box is raised, it's easy to see how much dust and debris are trapped by the housing. Wow, look at all that dust. Now let's take a closer look at the smooth surface that the Keystone keysaw has produced. Next, let's visit Indiana. There was a racetrack that was having trouble with water drainage. A call went out for help to Keystone Engineering. The Keystone keysaw is tearing through this 11 inches of asphalt as if it were butter. Okay, not butter, but certainly faster and cleaner than you would expect from any other type of cutter used on an asphalt surface. Notice the lack of dust and vibration, and look at the nice clean edge and the lack of spalling. What an amazing machine. Afterwards, the racetrack installed a 2-inch drainage pipe, allowing the underground water to run off. Notice again how smooth the cut is. With the keysaw, there are safety advantages as well. The keysaw's 1-inch steel plate housing creates a safer working environment as it traps most flying debris inside. And there's also no need for water to control the dust. Next, we visit Kentucky, where we're cutting 10 inches of concrete. Notice how close the man is standing to the keysaw while it's running. Now don't try this with any other brand of saw. Speaking of other saws, I'd like for you to notice the spalled edges this earth saw has produced. It must also use a water system in an attempt to control the dust and debris. And there's no protective cover, risking injury to workers and nearby vehicles. Our next job for the keysaw is removing 8 inches of asphalt on a driveway and patio. Notice how close the keysaw is able to cut to the house without worrying about dangerous flying debris. No conventional earth saw would attempt to get that close to the house. Now let's show off some of our maneuverability. You see, the keysaw is mounted to the front of a skid steer and is therefore highly maneuverable. Try this with an 8-foot earth saw. For our next job, we travel to Michigan. The state wanted a more permanent fix for chuck holes on its concrete interstate highway system. The old process began with diamond sawing, which can be a long and strenuous process, not to mention the high cost of replacing diamond wheels and the necessity to keep a water truck assigned for just that one machine. After sawing, it's necessary for the contractor to wash the slurry off the road, tying up another truck. Once the diamond saw is cleared out, bring on the jackhammer crews. Since the jackhammers are pneumatic, guess what else we've tied up? You guessed it, another truck. Then clear out debris, jackhammer some more, and since roads aren't just concrete and they contain rebar, you're going to need a handheld saw to complete the task. Then load the chunks onto yet another truck. Back at Keystone, we saw a big problem with this picture. Why have 20 or more employees tied up with a half a dozen trucks when all you really need is the Keystone keysaw and a vacuum truck and 3 or 4 workers? We outfitted this keysaw with a 10-inch wide cutter head. Now, instead of going through all the steps of diamond sawing, jackhammering, washing, sawing, jackhammering some more, and on. There are just 4 steps. Lower the key saw to the surface, turn it on, extend the saw into the cut, and then start cutting. The key saw produces a very fine byproduct that is easily removed with a vacuum truck. Now let's take a look at those finished cuts one more time. The mounted key saw is also very accessible, which enables the operator to easily change the bits in a matter of seconds. The Keystone key saw, for just a fraction of the price of an earth saw, provides a safe cutting environment, a clean straight cut every time, and can be used almost anywhere. The ease of use and the versatility of the key saw make it a very practical piece of equipment for you to own. We can custom build a key saw for your exact specifications. Call Keystone today for more information. Thank you.